Get ready to get wild,
Getting serious.
get cooking,
Nachos up.
and get on the water.
Send you down some rapids.
This southern weekend is full of adventure, from farmers markets to feathered friends.
Look at that tongue!
We'll paddle through the middle of a city, make friends with a 200-year-old lady, and meet a kid named Eddie, who just happens to be 40 feet tall. And as always, we'll eat plenty of good food along the way.
That's delicious.
So come join the adventure as we explore South Carolina on The Southern Weekend.
I'm Molly McKinney. I travel across the South, meeting amazing people,
We're dancing, we're having a good time.
right.
What is
tasting delicious food,
That is outstanding.
and exploring great new places to visit. I love weekends in the South, and I think you will too. Let's go check it out. So come join the adventure as we start The Southern Weekend.
Production support for this episode of The Southern Weekend provided by Greater Cayce, West Columbia Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center. Make time to live. Our first stop this Southern Weekend, the Riverbank Zoo and Garden. Located in West Columbia along the banks of the Saluda River, it's a must-see.
I love animals, and I've been told we may even get up close and personal with a few, so I can't wait to get inside and check it out.
Welcome to Riverbank Zoo and Garden. You are in for a real treat. We are a 170-acre zoo and botanical garden, and on the zoo side, we have nearly 2,000 animals. That's 350 different species from around the world.
And then one every day for a year.
I know. And then on the botanical garden side, we are home to more than 4,300 species of native and exotic plants. You know, it is our mission to foster an appreciation and concern for all living things. We get people through the gates, they have fun, we educate them, and in turn, we hope that they go home and take action for conservation. We're standing on Giraffe Overlook, and this is where people can actually come up on a daily basis and feed our giraffe herd. And this is Bruce.
And his tongue's very soft. It's not at all like
Tongue is very
sandpaper or
soft,
anything.
Not too bad.
Look at that tongue! I cannot believe how long their tongues are.
They are.
I guess that's what they need to be able to reach into the trees.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that their tongues are black.
No. It's one thing to have the tall necks, but the long tongues, man, they are prepared to get up in those trees.
Absolutely.
I'd like to welcome you to Penguin Coast here at Riverbank Zoo in our birdhouse.
Hello. So who do we have here?
This is Scout. He's one of our king penguins. We have 3 of those. We have Scout, Grace, and Atticus. Right behind you, the little one right there, they are rockhoppers. They've got those bright yellow crest feathers on top of their head. The one that's kind of taking his little morning snooze over there, those are our Gen 2 penguins.
Hi, sweetie. I like you, Scout. This is Scout still, right?
Yes, it is.
So all 3 of these species get along together?
They do.
Keep them in the same exhibit?
Yeah, they do. Actually, in the wild, they can be found together. So they're on the sub-Antarctic islands between South America and Antarctica. So you can find them together in the wild. So most zoos will have them together in zoos as well.
What is it that you hope people will take away from this exhibit?
How different they are from other birds. Obviously, they don't fly. But seeing them and seeing the way they act, the way they are towards one another, the way they're with the keepers, and how I don't like to say how fun they are, but how fun they are, watching them swim, watching them interact with one another, and just learning to love any wild animal, any animal here at the zoo, not just our exhibit, but every exhibit here.
So Scott, I'm told I get to meet a friend of yours.
A very special friend, one of our Galapagos tortoises. And one of the interesting
Large
things
friends.
about this animal is he's so old that he could have hatched out of the egg when Thomas Jefferson was president of the United States.
What?
But this animal right here,
Hi.
Conchita, came off the Galapagos Islands in 1928. That's when it came to the United States and was probably an adult then.
So what do they eat?
Well, they mostly eat vegetation, so they eat lots and lots of grass. So they eat high bulk, low protein diet, so they eat all the time, but they don't get a lot of nutrition out of it. So we have to resod this exhibit every year because they eat all of the grass. She weighs about 400 pounds, but our largest
Just a mere
male
400
weighs
pounds.
650 pounds. And just to put that in perspective, that animal weighs more than our tigers, more than our lions, more than our grizzly bears. So these tortoises, which can get to be 1,000 pounds, are really, really big animals.
Girl, you got a ways to go.
They do.
We gotta fatten you
But they
up.
start out being much smaller. So this is one of our baby Galapagos tortoises. It's only 2 years old.
This is going to be that big
It's
in
going to be very, very big.
Just a couple hundred years.
Yeah,
and this is an endangered species.
It is an endangered
this is
species.
the future for this species.
It absolutely is. If we ever need to, we could take these animals, put them back on the Galapagos Islands to bolster the wild population.
What is it like for you to be able to be breeding an endangered species in captivity and hopefully giving them hope for the future?
Well, it's very fulfilling for us, but in some ways it's a very slow motion project. This animal right here isn't supposed to breed until he's 55 years old. That's why you can't harvest turtles, for food like we used to do with diamondback terrapins. Their reproductive rate is slow. It's just not sustainable.
At close to 200 years old, maybe over 200 years old, I can't imagine everything she's seen in her lifetime.
Yeah, the things that
Thank
they've
you,
seen
sweet girl.
that we'll never know.
Thank you. We'll let her be. Get some sunshine. And you're coming with us.
Up next, there's no better way to cool off on a hot southern day than by getting out on the water. And later, get ready to get hungry. We're eating nachos with a delicious twist as the Southern Weekend continues.
Jug nachos up.
When you think of heading out into a city, you usually don't think to grab a paddle. But as we found out, it's one of the best ways to enjoy Columbia. Well, this is breathtakingly gorgeous.
Molly, welcome to Cayce, West Columbia, just a bridge away from downtown Columbia, South Carolina.
And I'm embarrassed to admit, I had no idea this was here. I mean, the great outdoors right adjacent to the city.
We're one of the few places in the nation that you can actually be on whitewater, actually canoeing and kayaking during the day and see a play at night. We literally can get out of the river here instead of going sitting in our tents. We can stay in a 3 or 4 star hotel and enjoy all the amenities of being downtown city.
So tell me more about the Riverwalk itself.
You can walk along the river, great place to hike, bike, walk your dog.
Have you participated in some of the water activities?
You know, one of my
do?
favorite things to do actually is to come tubing down here. We start just above the zoo.
Tubing sounds real glamorous.
Well, you know,
lay there,
you just
enjoy.
kind of lay, relax, but you go through some rapids, so you get some humps and bumps. And the really interesting thing is we do it during the heat of the summer when it's 90 degrees outside and that river is 52 degrees all year long.
And you can canoe as well, right?
You can canoe, you can kayak, you can tube, however you want to come down the river in a lot of different ways.
So anything you recommend I do today with the summer
I think
humidity?
I've got a great idea. Let's get you on this river, which is 52 degrees as it's running, give you the cool air coming by. We're going to send you down some fun, get you in some rapids, kick you around a little bit. You up for it?
I'm totally. I feel like this is a compliment because you think I'm above tubing level just from looking at me.
I don't know if you are, but we're gonna see.
Hey there.
Hey!
Hi. So what river are we going to be on today?
Yeah, so here's actually a map of our trip.
Okay.
Put you in here, which is right above the Riverbank Zoo region, and then from there you actually float around the elbow, which is the slowest part of your trip, and then after the elbow you come across the Shandon Rapid.
Okay.
It's about a fun Class 2 rapid with waves to about a foot to a foot and a half tall, and then after that you've got maybe about an hour, hour and a half left of your trip, and then you'll end up right back here at the Gervais Street Bridge.
Perfect.
Yep, but since you're all signed up, we can just get you a life jacket.
Awesome.
And just hang around here in the shaded area. We'll make an announcement when our shuttle's ready to board.
Okay. Just any of these?
Yep.
It's been good. All right, cool. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. South side. How are you guys doing? So hard. Good. How are you?
It's hot today. It's going to feel good to get in some river water.
Let's go.
It's gonna be a little bit further down.
Air's going back. It's getting serious. How do I look? Like ready?
The second you come around the bend and see those two highway bridges, make your way to the right side of the river if you're not already there, okay?
This is awesome. It's so peaceful out here. Man, that was a blast. That was so much fun. Who knew you could do all of this in Columbia, South Carolina? I'll be back. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Still to come, all that paddling worked up an appetite. We'll stay in West Columbia to sample a delicious dish when the Southern Weekend continues.
I think Alabama is known for barbecue and grits. We're in the South. But Huntsville is a thriving community that has a lot of people who've traveled all over, and they bring those experiences here.
Huntsville brings a lot to the food scene. We have everything from soul food and barbecue to 4- and 5-star dining.
We have experienced a great growth in our food scene in the last few years. It has been wonderful to see, wonderful to experience, and definitely wonderful to taste.
The Huntsville food scene is really growing. Whether you're here, downtown, or anywhere in Huntsville, you're going to find great cooking.
Huntsville Restaurant Week is in August every year. It's a 10-day celebration of our locally owned and operated restaurants.
Restaurant Week is great for us because it gives us the opportunity to feed people that might not come here ordinarily.
Instead of maybe going to a chain restaurant, they can come to a freestanding downtown restaurant. They venture out and try something unique.
You have people that are driving from all over to experience what Huntsville has to offer, and we're so excited about what Huntsville has to offer this year.
is a family-owned restaurant in Cayce, West Columbia, serving up Southern-inspired dishes. And we're going into the kitchen with the executive chef to see the kind of food that's made them successful for more than 20 years. Welcome to Cafe Strudel.
Hello. Hey, how's it going today?
Good. I'm so happy to be here. I've heard so much about the food here at Cafe Strudel.
We're really known for breakfast and brunch, but we do lunch, dinner, we do all kind of stuff. Great in-house pastries. We started off as a little deli-style shop 20 years ago. My mom started it up.
And it's not all Southern, right?
No, I mean, we got a lot of Southern staples, you know, like shrimp and grits and fried green tomatoes and pimento cheese and stuff like that, but you never know what you're gonna get.
Where does your inspiration come from?
My inspiration, I'd have to say my mom. I was 3 years old in the kitchen trying to scramble eggs with her, and my mom got a lot of cooking from her mom. I just always loved cooking. Do you want to go try some food?
I would
you want to cook
try some
a little bit?
You want me to cook?
I'm gonna have you cook. Yeah, you got. I mean, you can wash dishes, but I'm gonna get you
Maybe
cooking.
I'll cook.
You cook. I'll tell you just some things. All right. Start off with a nice appetizer of some duck nachos. We are pretty well known for this. We cook it nice and slow in duck fat. It's basically called duck confit. I've got some fried tortilla chips here.
Those look delicious on their own.
I've got some duck, which I'm gonna put it right on top.
Why not, right?
Right. So, stuff is awesome. It's really rich. So I got a little bit here if you'd like to try it.
Yeah, I'd love to try it.
There you go.
It smells delicious.
That's really good. We just, like I said, slow cook it.
Oh, that's perfect.
We respect the food. It's all about,
It's not greasy or anything.
Right.
It's just the perfect consistency.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yep.
great.
All right, so I've got some smoked Gouda. We just shredded it up and mixed it with some milk, cooked it down into a little bit of a sauce, you know?
good.
So I'm gonna drizzle some over here. It's just so creamy, and that smokiness with that little bit of saltiness.
I would never think to use this. I mean, most people, what are the most common cheeses for nachos? Like cheddar and...
Yeah, or just
This
like
puts that
white
to
American
shame.
cheese, like Cayce mix.
Might as well try this while
Yeah, go ahead, try that out.
That's divine. That's heaven.
Balances of flavor is what we're going for. So next, I'm putting a little sweet Thai chili
Still
sauce.
looking.
Now, it might sound a little, it's interesting.
Thai
you know?
chili on
Sweet Thai chili
duck nacho.
on
Okay.
duck with smoked Gouda cheese sauce. So you're gonna have the saltiness, the richness from the duck, the smokiness and that creaminess from the cheese, and then this just adds a little bit of something extra.
What's next? Did you put garnish? Or
Yeah,
is
just a
that
few more green onions for garnish. That's it, just a little bit of.
Look at that presentation. That's
zing.
beautiful. That's a big old
chunk.
bite.
Yeah, right. Cheers.
Cheers. Dude,
We'll never get tired of that.
that's delicious.
Yeah, like you said, good balance of flavors is what people want really, and then that crunch from the tortilla, you know, just get that creaminess,
This isn't
saltiness,
any
texture,
tortilla
texture
chip.
and flavors. You want to have it all. Duck nachos up.
With our stomachs full, it was time to fill our minds. We traveled to the Adventure Children's Museum, where kids and families can experience the joy of learning. It's hard to miss Eddie. Tell me a little bit more about that exhibit and why it's important.
Eddie's fabulous, and he's so impressive on the outside, but it's the inside of Eddie that is really miraculous for the children, because he's a lesson in anatomy while they play. So they're climbing through him, but his brain synapses are going off. You literally hear it. But his heart beats, they can slide through the intestines, you climb up his spine. Kids are having fun, but they're understanding where the organs are in relation to each other inside Eddie. And I love standing in the lobby and watching children walk in when they see him for the first time, and the awe on their faces.
You can hear them right now.
You can. And then the other thing is that Eddie shows us that we're all the same on the inside.
I love that. Tell me about some of the exhibits you can explore here.
Well, when you first come in, if you look over to your left, you're going to see a fire truck, and that usually draws the kids in. And that's about teaching fire safety. That's an issue in South Carolina. We want kids to be safe. Then they can climb tires inside, which is fun, and learn about seatbelt safety. There's always something new and different here. For example, example, we're putting the finishing touches on our flight exhibit. NASA has come together with us and the city of Columbia to create a whole new exhibit that gets kids excited about aeronautics. We're thinking through how can we get kids excited. We thought, we know what, if we stick an airplane right out the side of the building, that will get people excited. We have a Boeing 757 cockpit that children and families can sit in and look across the Gervais Street Bridge. It's the best view of the bridge in town, I think.
What I love firsthand is that it's a hands-on experience too for these children.
That's right. Well, young children in particular learn by doing. Sensory motor is how they learn. So
I still learn by doing.
Right, exactly. Right, we all do. We exist to keep that fire ignited. And you do that by giving children and families opportunities to explore together, by touching, by feeling. If you walk into our grocery store exhibit on a Saturday afternoon, it can be a little crazy. It looks like one before a snowstorm is what it looks like. But that's good. That means learning has happened. Our purpose, Adventure's purpose, any children's museum's purpose, is to make people love to learn.
Up next, we love to explore, especially when there's avocado toast and paella involved. That and more when the Southern Weekend continues. If you want to see more from any of our road trips, check out thesouthernweekend.com. You'll find videos of our adventures across the South, as well as great tips and recipes. All that and more, anytime you want it, at thesouthernweekend.com. Columbia, South Carolina is the capital of the Palmetto State, home to the University of South Carolina and the birthplace of a truly unique downtown experience. Every Saturday, locals and visitors alike experience an explosion of culture right in the heart of the city at the Soda City Market. We're here in the downtown of Columbia, South Carolina, but I didn't expect there to be people from all over the world
It's
here.
interesting. Columbia is the most underrated town in the South.
So where did Soda City come from? Where did that idea come
That's a
from?
little nickname. Cola SC is something people around here write on the letter. Instead of Columbia, we just put cola. Why? Because it's too hot to write the whole word. That's why.
So you started this whole market downtown?
Yes, I farmed here in South Carolina for 20 years, and about halfway through that, I needed a place to sell my things. Got 5 of my farmer friends together, and we started the market with only 6 vendors in November of 2005.
How big is it now versus when you started?
We're fielding around 150 vendors on 3 blocks on Main Street. In the 11 plus years that we've been doing this market, we've never missed a single week of local produce. Jamila, this is Molly from Southern Weekends. This is Jamila from Azerbaijan.
This is my favorite breakfast.
I was thinking to myself, somebody needs to do this because avocado toast is so popular on social media. And I've been experimenting at home, and I contacted Soda City people, and they were so embracing of the idea.
Can I try one? I would love to.
I'll make you an original one. It's basically mashed avocado, smoked seasoning with some salt and lime.
Good?
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for making my day.
Kyle Style.
Hey, Emil.
How you doing, brother?
What's up?
Good.
Hey, I'm Molly.
Hey, Kyle Smith.
Nice
Good to meet you.
I'd love to learn a little more about your pieces.
Well,
I mean, the craftsmanship is beautiful.
Well, thank you. I started using a porcelain and a stoneware blend of clay. It's very durable. I used to make a lot of decorative pieces. People would say it's nice, I just don't have the room for it. So when I switched to this clay body that's more functional, people will find room for it because they say, I need that in my life.
Do you think there's anywhere else in town that you can have this kind of experience?
No, this is almost like a weekly festival. The amount of people that come out, it's unbelievable.
I call it a town square.
It is like a town square.
You meet
It's a
new
meeting
people, you
place.
see old friends, you see
The
people like you
local
haven't
watering
seen in
hole.
a long time.
Customers get excited when they see new vendors and they welcome them. They're very gracious to see them come and keeps the market growing.
Thank you so much. This is so fun talking to you.
Molly, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
And enjoy the market. There's a lot to see and have fun.
We
Thank you.
will.
Take care,
Thank
Emma.
you.
Bye-bye.
Molly, this is Hugo. Hugo, this is Molly.
Molly, nice to meet you. Is this
I
paella?
told Hugo he was going to be a superstar the first time I met him, and I was right.
Where are you from?
I'm from Madrid.
How has Spanish paella been received in Columbia, South Carolina?
Well, at the beginning it took me a while. Now it's going pretty well. So you want to taste it? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that a question?
And so on this one, I use just chicken thighs and chicken wings.
Okay.
And a lot of spices that are secret.
Uh-huh.
No.
I'm sure.
I use saffron, smoked paprika. I bring all the stuff from Spain. This is the good stuff.
Great,
So
thank
there
you.
you go. Let me get you a fork.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
There's a squeeze some lemon in it.
Oh, that's squid too?
A squid, some octopus, clams, mussels, shrimps.
I understand now why he'd come find you if you ever left this market.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
From the sights and the smells to the fantastic people we met today, I'm so glad we came.
Thank you so much for coming out, and especially for coming to Columbia, South Carolina, and show everybody what a great place this is.
And the market's here every weekend.
Every weekend, rain or shine, all year round, unless it's Christmas. If you wake up in Columbia, South Carolina, you can come on down here on Saturday mornings.
That does it for this road trip. I'm Molly McKinney. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Southern Weekend.